The day the will was read, Elena Brooks felt like the air had been knocked out of her lungs. She sat quietly in the back of the lawyer's office, hands folded in her lap, while her father's other children leaned forward in anticipation. The room smelled faintly of polished wood and old paper, heavy with expectation. Her father, Samuel Brooks, had built everything from the ground up. The vineyards, the estates, the company that carried his name. Elena had grown up watching him work with his hands, his boots muddy, his laugh loud and honest. She had believed naively, maybe that love counted for something. The lawyer began reading. The mansions went to her stepbrothers. The cars, the investments, the company shares all distributed neatly among them. Then came Elena's name. To Elena Brooks, the lawyer said, pausing, the old farmhouse, and the barn on the east field. Silence followed. Then laughter. One of the brothers leaned back, smirking. Guess she gets the dust and spiders. Their mother smiled thinly, fingers tapping the arm of her chair. Your father always said you liked simple things. Elena said nothing. She stood, nodded once, and walked out before anyone could see her hands shaking. That evening, rain followed her down the winding road to the property no one else wanted. The farmhouse sagged with age, paint peeling, windows clouded by time. The barn stood farther back, weathered but stubborn, like it refused to fall no matter how hard the years pushed. Elena parked and stepped inside the barn. The smell hit her instantly: old hay, wood, oil, and memory. Her father had brought her here as a child, taught her how to mend a fence, how to tell the weather by the sky, how to listen. She picked up a broom and began to clean. Dust rose in soft clouds. Old tools surfaced. Carved initials on a beam caught her ISB plus EB, etched decades ago. Beneath it, the wood felt loose. She pressed. The board shifted. Her heart skipped. She knelt, lifting it carefully. Beneath was a small compartment holding a wrapped envelope and a brass key. Her father's handwriting covered the paper. For the one who stays long enough to look, her breath caught. That night, unable to sleep, Elena returned to the barn with a flashlight. Guided by instinct more than logic, she followed subtle marks her father must have left: scratches, uneven boards, a hollow sound beneath the concrete. She found a hidden stairway leading down into a small underground room. Inside were boxes, documents, ledgers, files, and proof. Her father hadn't left her scraps. He'd left her everything. The company, the real ownership, had been placed in a trust under her name years earlier. The visible inheritance her stepfamily celebrated was symbolic. The control, the foundation, the future, it belonged to Elena. At the bottom of one box was a recording. Her father's voice filled the room. If you're hearing this, then you were patient enough to listen. I needed someone who valued truth over appearances. I knew you'd find this when the time was right. Elena cried, not from sadness, but from relief. The next morning, she walked into the same law office with quiet confidence. One document at a time, the truth surfaced. The laughter vanished, the smirks faded. The room grew very still. Elena didn't gloat. She didn't raise her voice. She simply reclaimed what had always been hers. Weeks later, she stood in the barn again, now clean, sunlight pouring through repaired windows. She ran her fingers over the old beam and smiled. Her father hadn't left her a barn. He'd left her a lesson. Sometimes what looks like nothing is everything.